guys, and thank you for joining me for day 3 of the Flosstyle Tidy Travel Tote Sew Along. Today we're going to be sewing the optional bee pocket for the back of the nappy clutch, and then we're going to be putting all our layers together and sewing them together and then turning them out and top stitching them. So thanks very much for joining in, and let's get started. Alright, so the last thing that we did yesterday was top stitch around this curve here and top stitch around this curve piece here. So I forgot to mention that you will also need to cut off 2 centimeters, so just measure from the edge of this curve in and just cut off 2 centimeters, and that's okay to do after you've top stitched because you're going to be sealing this end here in when you sew your layers together. So the first thing that we're going to be doing tonight is sewing our bee pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 bee pieces. So this pocket is optional. It goes on the back of your clutch when you fold it together. So if you don't want to include it, that's fine. You can skip forwards past this. So you want to take your 2 bee pieces. You want to place them right sides together, lining them up properly. And then we're just going to sew down this straight line here. So the 2 bee pieces right sides together and sewing down the straight line. Okay, so I've sewn my straight line, and now what I want to do is fold it back over so it's wrong sides together. I want to press it so that I've got a nice neat crease at the top here, and then once I've done that I want to top stitch across the top there like that. So now we've done the bee pocket, we're going to layer all of our layers in the correct order so that we can sew them together. So we're going to start with our A outer. So this is our interfaced A that's designed to go on the outside of our nappy wallet. The next part that we want is our bee pocket that we just finished sewing. We want to place that right side up on the side of the wallet that we want it to go on. So I've chosen for mine to go on this side because that means that my hedgehogs all line up, but it could just as easily go on this side and have the hedgehogs in a different direction. So once that's there, the next thing that you want to do is you want to place your tab. Now you want to place this right side down. So this is the fabric that I'm considering my right side, and I want that right side down. We want to line that up with the center. So we want to line the center of this up with the center of this side here. So I'm just placing mine there, but I do want you to make sure that you've lined it up centrally. And then the next piece that we want is our A inner. So this is the piece where we have cut the curve out of and we've attached our zip. So we want to place that right side down so that this curve here hugs this tab curved here. So that's those layers like that. And then the very last layer that we're going to put on is our A lining. We want to place that right side down. So once you've got all of those layers there, we've measured our center of our tab and placed that in the center, we want to pin those in place. And what we're then going to do is we're going to sew around the outside to attach all the layers together. Now we do need to leave a turning gap, and the best place to leave that is in one of these sides. It should be about 5 to 7 centimeters long. So if you start sewing about here, go around and then just leave a 5 to 7 centimeter gap. That is the perfect place to turn your wallet out the right way. So once you've sewn around the edges, you need to clip the corners, or I've just used my pinking snips to go around the edge. We're going to turn your TTT out the right way. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to open the gap here. Now you want to put your hand in between your 2 outside layers. So you've got your A outside here, and then you've got your A inside here, your 2 interface layers. That's where you want to stick your hand, and you want to pull it out and turn it the right way through that hole. Alright, so once you turn it out, it might look a little something like this, and that's okay. That just means you're not properly finished turning it out. So you want to try and get a ruler or a blunt instrument, and you want to poke it into all of these corners, and that's how you're going to get those corners. And you want those poked out nice all the way as much as you can without putting a hole through it. So I find a wooden ruler or a chopstick is quite good because it's long enough to get all the way into that corner, but it's quite blunt, so it's not going to put a hole in your fabric or between your layers. And you want to make sure all of those corners are poked out perfectly before we move on to the next step. Okay, so now this one is almost all turned out. I just wanted to show you the difference. This corner here is poked nicely. Whereas this one here, you can see it could be pushed out just a little bit more. So that is the difference pushing your corners out properly is going to make. This one's going to give you this nice sharp corner, whereas this is going to give you a slightly rounded, messier looking corner, and if I feel it, there's quite a lot of bulk in there, and that's not going to work very well when it comes to putting your wipes case in, or even when it comes to top stitching around the edge there. It's going to make that quite difficult. So you can see by looking at it that there's still more. That one looks nicely pushed out. This one, there's still more to push out. So I'm going to correct that, and then what we're going to do is going to iron that, press it so it's all nice and neat, and then we are going to top stitch around the entire edge, and by doing that we're going to close this gap here. So when I go iron it and press it, I'm just going to press all of those seams in. So I'm just going to tuck them in as I press, and then as I top stitch, that will close that gap there. Okay, so now that we have top stitched around the edge, that's it for today. Very well done. So you can see that it is starting to look a little bit more like a nappy wallet now. You can see that if you fold it in half, you can use this curved flap, and that will fold over, and then that's what's going to secure the wallet in place. So tomorrow night we are going to do the inner pocket, and so that'll clip into place here, and then the handle, and that'll clip into place here. And then on Friday we're going to be making our change mat that goes into the optional back pocket. So thank you everyone for joining in. I can see by the YouTube views that there are quite a lot of you that have been watching along each day. That's really exciting, and it's really encouraging to see that people are actually joining in and taking part in the sew along. So I'd love to see any photos of your nappy wallets in progress. And remember, once you've finished, to take a photo of your finished wallet and post it in the Flosstyle Fair group for your chance to win some awesome prizes. Thanks guys, I'll see you tomorrow.